Hello everyone and welcome to Cosmoteer. Well, the game got a new update recently and, well, the developers gave me a key and you know what? I did hear a lot of good stuff about this game and I really wanted to try it for a while now. So I think it is the perfect time to go ahead and do so. So yeah, a big thank you to the developers for giving me the chance. Let's go ahead and jump into it. In case you are not familiar with the game, this is a spaceship building game from the top-down view. I did play a little bit, I basically finished the tutorial and that is as far as I got. I didn't really want to go too deep into it. I wanted to have a relatively clean, slate with this game because as I've said, I heard good things. We will play in the career mode and we have a couple of ships that we can choose from and I think I will just go for the Model L. Yeah, I think, we have the same amount of money from every single one of them, so I think they should be relatively comparable. So I think for the most part it is just a matter of taste in terms of shape of the ship. Although this one appears to have a shield. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for the Model L. It's fine. I will leave the combat and economic difficulty on default. It can be a little bit harder or a little bit easier. I'll just leave it on default. And welcome to the game. Let me just check. Okay, I think the game has a random universe. Let's just take a look at the galaxy. Yeah, definitely. The last time I believe I started around this part and the layout was completely different, so it appears the galaxy is laid out randomly. Very happy to see it. And right, so this is the starting system. We have a couple of planets and points of interest. For now, we are playing without a tutorial because I have finished it already. Let's first hail the station nearby. And let's accept a couple of missions. Basically, I just want to get a little bit of extra money. So let me say 5,000, 6,000. I will try to accept some of the more lucrative missions. And this one, 9 kilometers. This is a little bit too far. You know what? It's fine. I will accept, I suppose, 4 of these. And let's see how far this one gets us. Basically, I just want to build up a little bit of money so we can maybe build a new ship with it. In fact, speaking of building a new ship, I think we might want to reorganize the ship right now before we set off. Because, well, if we are near the station, I believe the crew will automatically buy resources if we don't have it. So it should be a little bit easier to build a new ship right now. So yeah, you know what? Let's do it. This is just going to be a small reorganization. So I think I will move the storages down here. I think I will move the... Yeah, this one can go down here for a second. And I will move the generator up here. So it is a little bit closer to the weapons. And speaking of the weapons, I will build one more laser. There. And I think I will move this guy out there. The thrusters can go right under it, and I will move the crew quarters here. Yeah, so the crew is right next to the weapons, so they will have a easier time refueling it. In fact, yeah, the crew quarters come down here for a second. And I want to have the generator up here. Yeah. Okay, this one can go there. Although this is not exactly ideal because if the enemy hits the reactor, then it will explode. And it will knock the whole ship out, basically. And if they go through these 2 weapons, they have a free reign to hit the generator. That's not great. Okay, I will move this guy down 2 spaces and let's just give it a little bit of extra defense. Maybe this way. Right. Let's have these guys out here and let's give these two some doors because obviously we need access. Good. Thruster, that's fine. And you know what, just to be on the safe side, I will have one more fire extinguisher here. Good. And the crew quarters can go... You know what, that's fine. They will have immediate access to the reactor. There. Okay, this crew quarter can go down here, that's fine. I will move the engines down a little bit, like here. And we will have the cockpit back here. Okay, corridor goes there. Let's give these guys as much entrance doors as possible. I think I will have the airlocks here, maybe. Okay, I think I'm relatively happy with this layout. The reactor should be relatively well defended. I will just add a couple of extra layers of armor. So let me see. Yeah, this double one can go here and here. Maybe a bit of extra on the sides. I will not worry about shapes right now. This is just a starter ship. I just want it to be relatively punchy and well defended. So I think this much should be fine. Okay, let me just get rid of the superfluous stuff. The back is completely exposed, but I will try to make sure that we are facing the enemy for the most part. Okay, I think I am relatively happy with this. Okay, let's make it so. We will need to pay 8,000 to the station to buy all the resources, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and build a ship. Okay, so the ship is finished. Obviously, it is not exactly the best looking ship ever, but it should do the job. How are we on the... ideally, we should have a couple of extra crew, but I think we will manage for the first couple of missions. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Maybe we should increase the storage space. Yeah, you know what? While we are here, let's do it. So for storage space, I think I will build 2 more here and here, and let's just make sure they are relatively protected. So this should do it. But we don't have the money. Do as much as you can, and we will deal with the rest once we get back home. Although, yeah, we did manage. So anyways, I think this should do it. Also, can you please not... There we go. Off you go. Okay, so we have the missions, and I think I will go for... Yeah, a counterclockwise. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Okay, there's the enemy. I think I will go ahead and park myself relatively on the edge of our weapon range. Although we might be a little bit sluggish, so I think they will have maneuverability over us. There we go. So let's take a look at you. Yeah, they are very, very small, and they have more than enough thrusters to make them very maneuverable. Although the cockpit is right in front. Basically, there are a couple of ways we can disable enemy ships. We can either disable the reactor, and that will disable the ship, but it will also blow up everything around it, so that's not ideal. Because obviously we want to salvage as much as possible. We could also disable the cockpit, That will disable the ship, but it will not blow everything up around it, so that is a very good way of, you know, making sure it is salvageable. Or we could go for the engines. I think I first get rid of the weapons and then try to take care of the engines. Maybe we get lucky. If we accidentally hit them on the front, I think, well, since the cockpit is in front of the reactor, we should be fine. So let's go ahead and see how this works. So we will start with the weapons. Lovely. Next, the thrusters. Go for this one next. Oh, no, wait. Try to go for this one. Never mind. Go for this one. We have plenty of armor to chew through. This one is now in a better position. Very good. There, and try to hit this one if you can. You know what? Let's try to maneuver ourselves a little bit better. If we try to hit them from this side, I think we should be better off. Now that they have... Yeah, there we go. Oh. Okay. Unfortunately, we did let go a couple of bolts before we actually destroyed the ship, and that hit the reactor, so it blew up completely. Not ideal. Oh well. Let's go ahead and salvage what we can. Let me see. Yeah, you know what? Let's pick up everything. I will designate everything to be picked up, move myself to the relative center of the debris field, and let's go for it. Okay, so we have picked up everything. Now, we have all these steel plates and coils and everything. If you want to build the ship out a little bit more, we can use these resources. We don't need to buy them from this station. So anyways, let me see how much stuff we have. 121 steel, 36 coils. I think we can do a little bit of extra remodeling. What do we need for engines? For engines, we need... That's it, just steel plates and coils. As we have established, we are not exactly maneuverable, so I think I will try to add a couple of extra thrusters just to be, you know, well, more maneuverable. Okay, now the biggest problem we have is that... Let's slow down. Yeah, we don't have enough crew. Now, there is a way to make sure the crew is doing what we need. Basically, we can create roles and assign crew to these roles. So, for example, we can tell them, let's have 4 people always manning the guns. Let's have, I don't know, 4 people always delivering energy to the guns and the engines and stuff like that. So we can micromanage this quite deeply, but I never really delved too deep into it. I know to make ships very, very effective, that is basically unavoidable. So maybe we will do a little bit later, but not right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and go for the next one. And this is, yeah, just a roving ship. I think we can skirt around it. Yeah, they will leave us alone. And there's the next target. Let's park ourselves just inside weapon range. And you are not the best layout. Let's go for the weapons first, then thrusters. And I think it might be unavoidable that we will need to hit the reactor. Let's see what happens. Go for this one next. Lovely. Don't go any further than this. There we go. So now we can salvage the reactor, the cockpit, the hyperdrive, and the crew quarters, I believe. This is a... yeah, crew quarters. Okay, let's salvage the most valuable stuff. Good, with that taken care of, let's just salvage everything else. I just wanted to make sure that we have enough room on the ship for the more valuable stuff. Okay, we can move on. Also, let's repair before we move on, because obviously we need to be battle ready. Okay, this is not the target. It doesn't have a star over it, so I think I will go around them and let's try to find our actual target. There you are. Ooh. Okay, I think they were attacking this station and they got completely obliterated. So yeah, our work has been done for us. Very good, we can move on. Let's take a look at you. We have... ooh, there we go. Cockpit right in front. Go for that one right away. It should be relatively easy pickings. Although, unfortunately, the reactor is right behind it, so if we shoot more than necessary, I think we will hit the reactor by accident. But I think that's unavoidable. Okay. Stop hitting. Go for the weapon next. A couple of extra hits on the cockpit. Good. Okay. I think we managed. Let's go ahead and go right next to it. They had a very beefy engine, so they had plenty of momentum, but there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and salvage. Yeah, salvage the engine, the weapon, and pretty much everything. Yeah, you know what? Break the whole thing down. We should have plenty of storage space. Okay, this is ammo, right? I don't think I will bother with ammo because we have no ballistic weapons. We are only using energy weapons right now. So, either way, I will go ahead and pick up everything else we can. That's it. We have no more room on the ship. Let's go back to the station and finish these missions. There we go. So, now that we have some extra money, first, let's go ahead and maybe... you know what, before we remodel, I will just repair. And I will call the station once again. Now, on the station we have a couple of options. Not just missions, but we can also hire crew. Our crew are currently full, so that's great. We can also trade resources. It seems we did pick up some ammo, so I will sell the ammo. What else? Hyperium. We have 16, that's fine. We have so much steel that I think I will sell... let me see. Yeah, I will keep 120. That's it. So basically, I believe 3 stacks. You know what? Let's have 4 stacks at the ready. Coils. These, I think I will just have 2 stacks. That should be fine. Hyper coils, I have no idea. An improved version of the coil used to construct many advanced ship parts. Yeah, I think this one can... yeah, we can sell this one. We are not building any advanced stuff. Tri-steel, I believe this is just a more durable steel plate. Processors, enriched uranium. Yeah. Let's just go and trade away the excess. Okay, now, The last thing that we can do on the station is purchase blueprints. So basically here we can unlock new parts for the ship. So for example, we can have a lot of different energy weapons, a bunch of ballistic weapons. We can also have different defensive parts. For example, I will unlock the shield generator. Thank you. We can also have command modules, for example, hyperdrives, bigger cockpits and stuff like that. Well, obviously better thrusters, moving walkway. Oh, right. You know what? I want to reserve our money right now, so I will not buy this one. Medium reactor core would be nice, but no. Heat management. I think this one only really comes in. Well, basically, this is the new mechanic in the game where we can manage our heat. I believe now we can have overclocked parts or something like that. Obviously, I am not very familiar with the game, but as far as I can tell, basically, if you build overclocked parts, they will generate heat and maybe we need to shed the heat. Something like that, I don't know. We can also create refineries and factories on the ship. So, for example, you might have seen previously that here we have these asteroid fields, for example. Here we can get raw resources, and if you build refineries on the ship, we can process them into, well, refined resources, for example, steel plates, coils and stuff like that. And, well, we can also build factories, and we can use those refined resources to, for example, make ammo or let me say, yeah, cannon ammo factory, high explosive missile factory, and basically we can just generate our ammo and other resources ourselves. We don't need to buy them. But obviously that will require a very, very big ship, and we only have a small gunboat right now. What else? We can also have, I believe this is the tractor beam. Yeah, roof mounted tractor beam. And we can have a mining laser, sensor array, stuff like that. But anyways, what I want to unlock next is, let me see, we need a heavy blaster laser. Yeah, that's 3000, and then 5000 for the ion beam. Yeah, let's just have ion beam prisms right now. And that's all the money I really want to spare right now. So let's go ahead and maybe try to replace our weaponry. Go into build mode and go into planning mode, because I don't want to commit anything right now. So let's get rid of these weapons there. And I would like to, where are you? There you go, ion beam. This will create a beam going straight forward. But I did try this one in my off-camera game. We can focus these guys. For example, if you build this one here and another one right here, then we can put a ion prism right in between them. And basically these beam weapons will hit the prism, and you might be able to tell that the prism has a teardrop shape, and at the point of the teardrop is where the actual beam will come out. So basically these guys will hit the prism and they will pull their energy output together and generate a more powerful beam. Now I do believe this is a not 1-to-1 ratio, so we will lose a little bit of overall energy out of this, but I think that should be acceptable. So anyways, let's go ahead and maybe try to protect these guys a little bit better. So for example, since this guy will only shoot straight forward, what we can do is maybe box it in a little bit like this. So basically we just need to leave this channel open and we can protect the actual guns a little bit better this way. Yeah, something like this. Now the problem is that, unfortunately, these guys need entrance from this side, so we need to definitely build a corridor going this way. There we go. And yeah, unfortunately, I do believe these crystals are also explosives. Basically, the more beam weapons go through them, then, well, the more explosive they are. So I think, yeah, leaving this extra protection here is necessary. By the way, we will not be able to build this one because we will need to buy crystals, for example, and those are kind of expensive. So yeah, tell you what, instead of having the crystal here, I will only build these beam weapons for now. We will reorganize them later. Yeah, not the best layout, but it should do. By the way, we still don't have enough money. What do we need to buy? Insufficient funds. We should have plenty of other resources, so yeah, I think it's just the 2 crystals that we need to... Oh, right, and we still need to buy some those special coils as well, as it turns out. So yeah, I don't think we will be able to buy all this. I think if we only have a single one of these, we should be fine. Okay, we are almost there. We only need to shed 200 more credits and we should be able to build this one. In terms of crew, we should be relatively okay. Anything we can sell. You know what? I will finalize this one for now. Can we sell anything? For example, yeah, I think we can sell maybe some of this fuel, these processors, and we should be in a good place. Okay, let's heal the station. Can we please sell you the processors? And yeah, maybe leave 2 uranium rods. This should give us enough money. There we go. So now we should be able to... Yeah, there we go. Make it so. Lovely. Okay. Although I would feel better if we had slightly more crew. So yeah, tell you what. Go into planning mode once again. Move the cockpit down. These 2 engines should still be accessible from the side. So I think that's going to be fine. In fact, let's move these thrusters down. And let's just have a corridor so they are a little bit easier to access. We don't need this door right here. That's fine. And that's fine. Okay, now I will have this guy facing this way. I will get rid of these crew quarters. There we go. And I will replace it with a 2x2 crew quarters. There. Okay, and the cockpit can have the doors on the side. And I think this should be fine. Okay, now we should have plenty of crew. We only really need 10, we will have 12, so yeah, this will be fine. Although the problem is now that the reactor is very far away from the engines. First things first, let's build this one. Good, it is built. Let me just check the station. I did see something in one of the videos. So here, engines, and let me see. Engine room, there we go. I do believe, let's see, increases the thrust and power usage of the adjacent thrusters by 50%. Also acts as a central delivery point for adjacent thrusters, that's it, to which crew can deliver batteries without having to travel to each one individually. So basically, if you build one of these and place the engines around it, that will make it a lot easier to fuel the engines. But obviously, we need to unlock large thrusters, that's 2000, and 6 more thousand, so we don't have the money for this, but something to keep in mind for the future. So anyways, we have this new ship. Let's take a look. Yeah, a lot more intimidating looking, I think. Let's face the correct way. Lovely. Okay, do we want to give it a try to the crew management, because this is going to be completely new to me. So yeah, tell you what, let's give it a go. First things first, let's make sure we always have crew manning the guns. So the new role, these will be the gunners. Very high priority, and they will be, yeah, red. And you operate ion beam emitters, priority 10. Operate. Everything else, I think... Can I set everything like this? One by one. That's not ideal. I wish there was a button that we could, you know, press. Set everything to very low priority, maybe here. No, that's not it. Okay, you guys only need to man the batteries. That's all you need to do. That's fine. Okay, exit, and I would like to have 2 here. Let me see. How do I assign people to it? Oh, we need to assign crew quarters to this, right? In that case, we should have a small crew quarters, because we have 2 people right now doing this, but later we will have more, so you know what, it's fine. Anyways, I think, yeah, this was just a small demonstration. I think I will be okay if we don't do this right now. So anyways, how are we on crew, by the way? Yeah, let's just hire 4 more. We have the room. So let's go ahead and hire 4 more crew. There we go. Let's wait until they arrive on board. There we go. I think I would feel better if we had crew delivering fuel to the guns all the time. So yeah, let's do that instead. Let's have a... weapon resupply role. They will be yellow, or yeah, this orangish yellow. High priority. And you will be responsible for delivering stuff to the... where are you? Yeah, the ion beam emitter. So supply battery. Don't operate anything or deliver anything anywhere else. You are just doing this. Okay, I think this should do. Can I have more than 1 role on 1? No, 1 role for 1 crew quarters. Okay, fine, you guys are just regular red shirts. That's fine. We have plenty of people, so I think this is going to be okay. And, well, you know what? 1 more change. I think I will have this crew quarters, pick it up, and you will be facing right into the reactor. So basically, as you leave the room, you can immediately pick up some fuel cells and take it where it's needed. I think that's going to be relatively okay. Okay, let's build it real quick. And that should do it. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe do 1 more mission before we do anything else. You know what, just to be on the safe side, I will go for one of these level 1 missions once again. Let's have, you know what, let's accept all 4 of these. Okay, let's take a look. So they are right here. Once again, I think I will go for a counterclockwise pattern. Now, this weapon is a lot longer range, so we should be able to do this. There we go. Okay, zoom in a little bit. There we go. Now we are in range. Once we are in sensor range, I will take a look at what we can do in terms of maneuverability. Okay, so let's take a look. Ooh, lovely. Pop it right in front. Go for it. Yeah, we are not as maneuverable as I would like, but we are doing a good job. And weaponry offline, good. How are we on the energy? Yeah, crew is more than capable of delivering the energy, so very good. And we are done. That was great. Let's harvest everything and we can move on to the next target. Okay, what did we leave behind? Ooh, a lot of stuff. Okay, we don't need ammo. Tell you what. Here, I will set up some limits. Since we have no projectile weaponry, can we please have a limit of 0 on the ammo? In fact, no missiles, missile parts. Every single one of these can be set to 0, I think. Good. Okay, you guys can be dumped, all of it. There we go. Now we have 3 more storage slots. I want to make sure that we, pick up the important stuff. There we go. Now I feel a bit better. I think we can move on. Okay, this ship is in the way. I think we will have to fight them. It should be relatively easy, I think. Yeah, you know what? Let's just blow up the reactor, it's fine. In terms of range, I think we should be fine. We hit pretty much everything except for the reactor. But that's fine. Let's park ourselves right next to it and salvage as much as we can. Good. Right, we are out of space. I think we are carrying too much steel plates. First repair. Good, and I think I will dump some of the steel parts. Tell you what, I think I will set a limit of maybe, let me say, 40 per storage slot. Let's have 200. I think that should be fine. So don't carry more than 200 steel plates and maybe, I don't know, 120 coils. I think that should be perfectly fine. Okay, can we dump the excess? You know what, there we go. It's fine. Eject excess and eject excess. Hold on. Did I press eject all or something? I thought I only said to eject the excess. Okay, pick up everything but only what we need. There we go. So now we only have 200 steel and 120 coils. I think I accidentally press eject all or something, I don't know. But either way, now we are fine. Let me see. Anything else we can harvest from here? Yeah, one more processor. That's fine. Okay, I think we can move on. Okay, now this is a problem. We are in a nebula, which means that we cannot see too far, and this ion beam is actually a long-range weapon, so we might not be able to see them at the correct range. So this will put us, well, just on the edge of the firing range, as you can see. Yeah, we can't see them. We need to be a lot closer. Let's try here. Okay, just let them creep into the firing range. No, we are all keeping distance. Just a little bit closer. There we go. What kind of ship is this? Yeah, let's just go for the hyper... No, wait. Go for the disruptors first. Those can be nasty. Okay, weapons taken care of. I think we can move a little bit closer now. There you are. Trying to escape. If we can hit the cockpit, go for it, but it's fine if we hit the reactor, I think. Yeah, it's trying to angle itself. And reactor, boom. Yeah, as expected. That's fine. Yeah, we have some structural parts and that's it. Okay, harvest as much as we can and we can move on. And that's it. Let's go for the last... No, wait. Second to last target. Let's take a look. This should be relatively easy. Cockpit right here. Go for that one. No, go for the disruptor. That is very, very dangerous. There we go. And now the cockpit. Lovely. How are we on storage, by the way? We have plenty of room, so I think the only thing left out here is the coils and the steel plates, so it's fine. Before we go on, let's repair. Getting a little bit banged up, and we can move on to the last target. Oh, this looks like a pirate station. Let's give them a wide berth. Don't want to mess with that right now. Not the most ideal layout. I will try to take care of the engines. Maybe we get lucky. If not, I will not lose any sleep over it. Yeah. Boom. No surprises there. It's fine. Let's just get as much stuff as we can and we can move back to the station. And there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and head home. And welcome back home. Let's go ahead and, well, drop these missions. Receive payment. Thank you. And let's sell all the stuff that we don't need to carry around. For example, I think we can sell... Yeah, let's just leave one stack of Hyperium. Steel plates and coils are fine. I will keep the hyper coils now because, as it turns out, we can use it now. Processors, I will keep them, I think. Uranium too, and yeah, not a lot to trade, but that's fine. Now that we have the money, I think I would feel better if we had more maneuverability. Although, you know what? No, it's fine. Let's just build that special weapon system that I have showcased previously. So let's face the correct way. Let's repair first. Good. And now let's build that focused ion beam. So first things first. Go into planning mode, ion beam, and you will be on the side like this. Then you will have another one right here, and you guys will focus your beam into this prism. Good. Okay, not too bad, but now I am very worried about maneuverability. Basically, you might have been able to tell that we were a little bit inaccurate in our last outing, so I would feel better if we had, well, more maneuverability. So yeah, tell you what, I will move up the fire extinguishers like there and add a couple of extra side thrusters. Like so. So maybe this will give us the extra sideways motion that we need. Can I move these guys up? This is as far as we can go, because the exhaust on the upper side will bleed into the armor, and that's not great. So yeah, I will move these guys up this much and add a couple of extra thrusters to the side. I really hope that this will be okay. Now we are short on crew. We need around 17. Yeah, I think one more crew quarters is in order. But where do we want to put it? That's the big question. If we make the ship a little bit longer, we should be able to do it. Yeah, let's just go for it. So these two down. Well, I suppose if we have side doors on the main thrusters, we should be able to do this, for example, like so. Not ideal, but I think we can manage. I think I will turn this one around that way, and you guys can go through the cockpit. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's just make sure we have proper access to these thrusters as much as possible. We don't need these doors. And I think, yeah, I think this will do. Obviously far from ideal, but it should do the job. Okay. The problem is we don't have these 2 extra crystals, and I don't think we have the money for it, although we should. That means that the station doesn't have the crystals. Let's check. Diamonds. They have 3, but for some reason they are not willing to trade it. Oh, there we go. Now they will trade it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Make it so. Okay, well, hopefully this will do the job. Oh, right. We definitely don't need these 2 corridors here. Please get rid of them. Thank you. Anything else? I think for the most part we are okay. You know what? Just to, you know, have a little bit of peace of mind, I will have these 2 armor plates there. And you know what? Yeah, let's just have proper armor plating here instead of this wedge. Hopefully this will be enough maneuverability to make sure that the guns poise the correct way all the time. Let's see. Let's go into an asteroid field. And let's test it out. Oh, there we go. Something that we can try it out on. So I will go and... yeah, this should be the correct range. So this is a defense platform. If you can you please go for the engines first? So let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. These guys are firing into the prism, and the prism is focusing their output into a single beam, but I do believe this is not a 1-to-1 ratio kind of stuff. So I do believe we are losing about 25% of the overall energy. So instead of firing 200% worth of, you know, energy out of this prism, we are only firing 175%, I think, or something like that. I only watched a couple of videos, so it might be out of date. I have no idea. Anyways, please focus on the cockpit if you can. And yeah, I think we are a lot more precise with the beam now. And don't turn it into... Okay. There we go. Stop. Lovely. Yeah, I think we are a lot more precise with the beam now. Oh, right. Wait. I think the ion prism can turn a little bit, I think. So I think we have a little bit of extra wiggle room with the angles, I think. I might be wrong on that one. Let me just check. So here, if we aim ion prism, there we go. So technically speaking, we do have a little bit of turn. So I think this is our firing arc from here to here, basically. So yeah, having the prism here is a lot better, because I think, first things first, don't aim, sorry, no? Can I delete this one? Okay, I think it is now focusing forward. Can I delete, cancel weapon targets? There we go, okay. So yeah, I think having the prism here does allow us to aim the beam a little bit better now. Because I think these guys all by themselves can only fire straight forward, nowhere else. So maybe it would be worth to give these guys individual prisms in the future if we only have, for example, a single beam emitter, for example, like that. Well, either way, we are done with this. Let's go ahead and salvage. Lovely. We only left behind a couple of coils, that's fine. Okay, tell you what, I will go back to the station and maybe we can accept some kind of better mission. Let's see, we can contact another station. Only 2,000. Yeah, I'm sure with it. Yeah, you know what? I will accept it. Might as well. Clear asteroid field. 19,000, absolutely. And Pirate Hunter. The problem with this one is that it is a little bit hit and miss. Basically, it's just a roll to die if we stumble onto roving pirates. I think it's going to be fine if we don't do this one. Faction conflicts. And we can also do a hyper jump. I have never done a hyper jump in this game before. I never really got that far into it. Explore unknown signals. You know what? Yeah, sure, we can do this one. We just need to find 5 more. For 9,000, might as well. Okay, so we need to... This one. This is what the one that has the star. So we need to clear out defense platforms on this asteroid field. Well, as it happens, it is right next door, so it is ideal. There you are. And we need to clean out 2 more. So that's 1 and that's 2. Okay. Let's just park ourselves right on the edge of the firing range and let's take care of these guys. Let's take a look. Maybe we can take care of the thrusters. They are on the side. I think we should be able to do this one relatively easily. Without too much hassle. Basically, I just want to avoid hitting the... Yeah, there we go. And... Okay, right. This was a platform, so engines are not an issue. It's fine. Let's just salvage. Yeah, the same basic layout. Can you please focus on the cockpit if you can? Try not to hit the reactor core. In fact, can you please try to approach the station from the side like this? Let's see if all these new thrusters are going to do the job or not. Perfect. This should be a lot better salvage. Oh, right. This was the station that deleted this pirate for us. Can we salvage anything from them? Yes, we can. Lovely. Okay. How are we on storage space? We still have some a little bit left over, so I think we are going to be fine. Okay. So where is that other station? It is right here. And we still need to discover 5 more points of interest. Well, we have all these, but I think we should be able to discover some along the way to the station. So yeah, tell you what, I will go through here. And then we should be able to find a couple of extra in this fog of war. Ooh, that's a target area. I think this means that we will have pirates roaming around here. Obviously, I don't want to go into the nebula too much. Although they must be hiding in there. There you are. Okay, fine. Let's go this close and let's see if we can see them in this fog. Okay, they are faster than us. Let's just let them creep into the range and let's take care of them. Disruptors, take care of these first. Oh, wait. Cockpit right there. And that's it. Very nice. Plenty of salvage from this one. And we are still doing relatively okay. All this extra armor in the front is really helping us a lot. Although, yeah, this prism is not doing great. Let's make sure it's repaired. Yeah, maybe a shield generator in front would be ideal. I might consider doing that a little bit later. But for now, let's salvage. Great. I have no idea how much of this Hyperium stuff we need. Let me check. So Hyperium, hyper jumps. You know what? I think I will keep 2 stacks around. So yeah, tell you what, the resource limits, and let's just have 40 of this. And drop the excess. Once again, they drop everything for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, can you please pick up 40? Thank you. I just want to have a little bit extra room for other stuff. Anyways, oh, right, that was the only ship in this target area. We can move on. We still need to discover 2 more points of interest. Yeah, a small gunboat. No, can you please try to focus on the engines? Unfortunately, the cockpit is defended by the reactor, so that's not ideal. Okay, we are out of energy, but now we are back. There we go. Try to focus down on the engines. Maybe we get lucky. There we go. Okay, stop attacking. Focus on the engine if you can. No, wait. Cockpit. Good. Okay, that was relatively okay. Let's go ahead and salvage. And we are done. Okay, so we need to explore one more unknown signal. I wonder, does the station count into this one, since it is a part of another mission? Let's take a look. Yes, very good. So we managed to take care of 2 of these in one go. Okay, we can get reward for this mission from this station, but for these 2 we need to go back to the... No, wait, we can do it from this station as well. Okay, let's take care of everything we can. So this one, 2000, that's great, and 9000, lovely. Okay, for this last mission we need to go back to the original station. But first, repair. Unfortunately, it seems that we are not as efficient with delivering the power to the guns as I would like. So yeah, I think I will have these 6 people dedicated to delivering the power to the guns. So tell you what, this one, weapon resupply. So this is set to be edit role. You guys are only delivering power to the ion beam emitter. Exactly. So this, there we go. You guys are only delivering power to the weapons. Hopefully that will make it a little bit more efficient. So basically, if you have to, you will immediately go into the reactor, pick up the batteries and deliver them to the weapons. Hopefully that will be okay. Fine, and everyone else, just do what you need to do. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, let's just go back to the station. And after this, I think we will say goodbye because, oh yeah, definitely. We are way over time on the 1 hour mark on the recording. So yeah, I will drop this mission and I think we will say goodbye. And yeah, in case you're wondering what my opinion of this game is, I think I actually love it. Yeah, the shipbuilding mechanics appear to be very, very in-depth. yeah, we have plenty of options to build the ship out as detailed as we would want to. First is first, let's get rid of this mission. This is 19,000, almost 20,000. That's great. So, anyways, yeah, I suppose with this money we could build another ship, maybe an industrial ship. So maybe we can have that one mining and refining resources. That would be kind of interesting. But anyways, we are over time. And as I said, I think this is going to be a one-time thing for this channel. Maybe at some point I might do a proper series of this game, but for now I think I will leave it at this. But as I said, I think I really like this game. Yeah, the ship construction mechanics seems to be really in depth, and as far as I can tell, the universe itself, yeah, you know, we can do missions, we can do mining. I wonder, maybe we can build stations too. I have no idea. Let me see. Build new ship. So I suppose maybe, you know what, let me try something else before we say goodbye. Let me go into this asteroid field and let me find a very big asteroid. I wonder if we can build a station on an asteroid. This one, yeah, it's a relatively big asteroid. If I want to build a station on this one, can I? I am not sure. Maybe I have no idea. I would love it if we could build a you know, an asteroid station or something like that. That would really spice things up. But anyways, I think, yeah, let's not worry about building a ship right now. So yeah, I think I like this game a lot. We might return to this at some point, but for now I think this is going to be it. Anyways, I think all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you'd like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.